not only through the pain, but the joy is walking through the fire. The joy is getting through the pain. It's not a way to get around it. You have to fucking face it, and you have to walk right through it. And it's amazing to me that the most fundamentally massive things that have happened to you, everything that you're telling us that have been the most just surprisingly, what's the word I'm looking for? Just relevant people and things in your life, all, you know, the pain was what preceded them, all of them. And it was like, not just a little bit of pain, but a lot. So, and I feel like that's true for all of us in a lot of ways. Like, we don't realize we're trying to avoid this and we're trying to avoid that, when really the way through it is to just go right through it. And that's why, like I said in my intro of my podcast, breaking on through to the other side, you know, you are breaking on through right down the motherfucking center of it. You know what I mean? You're going through the eye of the storm. And when you come out, you kind of find out again what you're made of. So, does it make you, I mean, to have that strong sense of, I know who the fuck I am because of what you've been through. And you now know who you are when you're faced with the biggest demon in the planet, which is yourself, battling yourself. So how does that feel when you've reached in and grabbed that asshole inside and just shaken him and said, no, we're coming together and we're going to fucking fire through this storm together? Like, what did that moment feel like to you when you know, embraced your inner demon and rose up with it, so to speak?
It is so funny you say that. To be honest, when I face it that way, the only feeling I have inside of myself is anxiety and panic. That is the only feeling. But here's the deal. When I stop doing it that way, when I stop being forceful and aggressive and like, because that's me, I'm like, we're going to fucking do this shit, we're going to do it hard, and we're going to do it right. And every time I do that, my innards just are like, huh? Like, oh my gosh, please don't.
Performance anxiety.
Like, please calm down. Yeah. And so when I actually stop, and instead of doing that and grabbing that piece and being like, we're doing this, instead I'm like, hey, I fucking love you and I see you and we're going to do this together. That is when I feel at peace. And so for me, it is truly been surrendering to love every part of me, good, bad, beautiful, ugly, broken, whole, everything, every good thing and every bad thing that has ever happened to me has made me the person that I am. And I fucking love myself for that. That is, like, I realized the other day, like, we all have a medicine, right? You know what my medicine is? It's love. And whether that's for myself or the world around me or my dogs, like, whoever it is, from the smallest creature to the largest, like, love and compassion is the way to show up in the world.
Right. That's truly incredible. And I mean, for me, I in my head think, you know, I've got to be so strong. Like, I don't like to be vulnerable. I don't like to be that little girl that was bouncing around needing the older version of myself to come and embrace me and tell me it was going to be okay, baby. But the way that I love my friends, like, I love my friends in such a almost smothering, motherly way. It's very nurturing, and when I love and give my loyalty to somebody, like, I'm going to fucking be your ride or die bitch. That's just how I roll. And I think for me, I didn't feel like I had a lot of friends that really were like that for me. In my times of need, there was a couple family members that really, really, really had my back during my shit, you know. But it's interesting because I'm able to give that so freely to other people. But then when it comes to doing it for myself, I'm so hard on myself. I can never... like, it's never enough for me. It's like I put myself up to this high standard, and it's like I'm constantly letting myself down. So in this kind of meditation too, which I just can't say enough about, meditation has absolutely blew the lid off my world, because it just allows me to be with myself and to be okay in that moment and all of the moments of the day that follow. But to be really loving and patient with myself, and to be that friend, that loving, loyal friend that I can be to everybody else but myself. And because I need that. We all need to be able to say, hey, baby, it's going to be okay. You're going to be okay. And if you're not seeking that in sex and relationships and drugs and rock and roll, then ultimately you're left with just yourself to give it to you. And it's scary. And I see a lot of people struggle with that codependency and those dysfunctional relationships where it's like me and you, like we're on a different level. We're like, fuck that. If you're not helping me and helping my process, like, what is the point? Once you do, it's like you do have to, it takes a while for you to get used to hearing just that narrative in your head. It's like your internal dialogue it just never shuts up. It's just constantly going and going and going. But when you're having more moments in a day where you're like, damn, you know what? I'm killing it. I'm excited. I love who I am. I love who I'm becoming, because it's never like you're just there. It's always like you said, a mixture of becoming and unbecoming, and really getting down to the nitty gritty. And I feel like it's like so important for people to do. Like I don't know what to say other than you got to do it. There's no other way around it. You're never going to have a healthy relationship until you're, with yourself and you can give those things to yourself. So, I mean, tell me your thoughts about that.
Yeah. No, the first thing that comes to me is like, and I've said this to so many people in my life, is like, you are so terrible to yourself. You say the meanest things to yourself. Would you ever dare say that to another human? You wouldn't. So why is it okay for you to do it to yourself? And that's the first thing, like to surrender to loving yourself and forgiving yourself. I mean, in your life, and I say this to the audience that's listening, when other people make mistakes, you forgive them. It's not a big deal. It's all good, right? No worries. But you make a mistake and you beat yourself up and you hurt yourself over and over, and you're not loving to yourself. And so it's the first and foremost thing for me comes up is, what does it take for you to love yourself, to forgive yourself? Pink has a song and she says, I'm learning to be brave in my beautiful mistakes. So whatever it is in life, how do you shift it so that you can love yourself through those mistakes, learn from them, let go of the rest, take that bit of gold, that nugget that you learned, take that with you, but let go of the rest.
So, and I completely agree. And for me, there's two sides of it. I definitely am more of a kind of, I'm not as like lovey-dovey with myself. I'm more like, no, fuck you. You're going to, pull yourself up. Let's do this. It's go time. And I've got just kind of that warrior mentality. Nothing's going to get to me. Nothing's going to bring me down. Fuck you. I'm going. And it's great. And it's helped me be very productive in my life having that. And it's got a lot of pros. But the cons are just that never having that sense of like full satisfaction, because I can never enjoy my successes enough. So now for me right now, I'm learning how to have that very loving side that I am, because I'm super lovey-dovey, softy at heart. You've known me for years. I'm like just the most compassionate. I'm super soft. I cry when I'm happy, sad, doesn't matter. But with myself. So I don't know. I think it's a combination of both for people to have to do. You've got to learn. And that's the thing that you said, like, it comes with judgment. It comes with the many times of returning to yourself, where you're going to start to have the judgment, where you don't need to have the therapist, because you can start deciding for yourself, okay, now's the time to go, fuck you, let's go time. And then when's the time to go, okay, it's time to be okay with myself and just forgive it and just move on. So it's like learning how to drive. You're not going to know until you have experience having the judgment. You know what I mean?
Well, and I love that. Like, let's even roll with that metaphor, right? Learning to drive. So imagine your body as the fucking vehicle, right? Do you listen to your vehicle? Do you listen to your body when you get anxious about something and go, oh, hi, anxiety, what's going on? Or fear or anger or happiness. Do you listen to those messages in your body? When you get mad about something, do you feel it in your shoulders? Do you carry physical pain around when you're feeling emotional pain? If so, that is a message. Just like when your check engine light comes on. We teach physical health hygiene to children. Why the fuck do we not teach mental health hygiene to children? Because that's what it is. It's meditation is an amazing way to return to the vehicle and check in with it. And I think that is a huge piece, is being able to return home and go, oh, hi, uncomfortable energy in my body. I notice that, I'm feeling anxious. So instead of me going like, God, I'm so anxious, I go, oh, I'm noticing I have some excess energy in my body. What's that about? And then I turn to that feeling and I ask it what is going on, right? So not only have my life experiences taught me how to show up in the world, but now I'm realizing my next step is to return home to my body, to my being, and listen to what it has to teach me. You know, I kind of had an aha moment a minute ago, and I might get emotional when I say this, but you were talking about pain, right? We all have to go through the pain. I have been fighting my physical pain for so long. I have no problem going through emotional pain. My brother dying, breaking my back, all of these really rough experiences. I can do that, and I can be solid in that. But returning home to my physical pain and being at peace with it and finding love and compassion for that physical pain, that is the challenge. And when you said that, I had this really clear realization of like, oh yeah, that's right. And now I get to go through that pain. And I see that this is going to be my biggest teacher, right? We all have something that we carry with us that we just want it to be gone. And maybe it's addiction, and maybe it's something else. For me, I love life. I am so happy, but every day I have to deal with this physical pain that I would do almost anything to get rid of. But if God came to me, or the powers that be, and said, hey, we'll take your pain away, but we also are going to take away the lessons you've learned and the experiences you had, I wouldn't trade it.
It's amazing. I mean, it just speaks to, you know, how huge your character is. I mean, really, it's amazing.
Thanks, lady.
I mean, to hear, I mean, we always have great talks when we talk, but I'm really, really, I just can't say enough, like, who you are and who you've become is just, it's just amazing. Just keep on rocking in the free world. That's all I got to say. And thank you so much for doing this with me and for all of us. I really got a lot out of this, and my heart feels all soft and gooey on the inside.
Yay. It's my absolute honor and pleasure. And if I can do anything with my life experiences, it's to share them with others so that they may take something from it and go live a happier, truer, more loving version of their own lives. You know, so to that I say thank you and namaste.
Namaste, girl. Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Out of the Darkness and Into the Light. We'll be back at you next week. Thank you again, Maggie Anderson. Beautiful soul.